Ichikawa, you're way, way behind in the race. Episode 10 of Dangers in My Heart, another fantastic episode. I really did like this episode more in the idea that, yes, it's obvious that Yamada is just, she's pouring it on. She's just pouring it on. But more of an aspect of Ichikawa just seemingly behind the race. Like, he's not quite getting it yet. Which, yes, typically in a lot of these romances sort of frustrates me, but it's just working here, and I think it's because they're doing very well in it not being a case of drama. Like, the fact that he's not figuring it out isn't creating some sort of uneasiness or frustration. It's just kind of naturally flowing on, and yes, obviously also having this aspect of Ichikawa slowly putting the pieces together. And seemingly at the very end here, finally acknowledging, wait, I do have a chance with her. Normally, in another case, he's constantly saying, I'm not good enough for her. We're from different worlds. We never connect. Even though they keep connecting because Yamada is pushing so hard to connect on something. And it was something I kind of went over with the last episode impressions, this idea of she's sort of trying to find something. Find something they can talk about. And that's all it really takes, is putting the effort into finding those connections, and you'll eventually find it. You don't have to connect on everything. Just find something that makes it enjoyable to be together. But yeah, I also really like this episode because there's so much that they're really finally starting to talk about with Ichikawa. Despite the fact that we get so much inner dialogue of him, we don't really know what kind of person he is. We don't really get a full sense. Yes, we know what kind of person he is, but just how he interacts with others. He barely ever socializes with others. And so this is finally that moment where he's sort of saying, this is how I normally act. And this is how I'm acting with you, which I thought was a really, really impactful little spot there that just seemed to be kind of brushed by. But yeah, obviously episode kind of opening up with this idea of it being Christmas Eve. They're going out together, supposed to be getting the manga, but it's obviously a ploy by Yamada to have a date with Ichikawa. And I love the fact that you get a really strong sense of everything that she sort of prepared before they even started. Because one of the first places they go to is this pancake shop. And she says, you know, one of the worst places to go to on a first date is an amusement park. Insinuating that she's been looking up information about dating. Now, granted, she could have looked it up for somebody else, or to study for something that she's got a job for, but it's obviously indicating that she looked into some stuff. But the slip up is that she says, well, because you're always standing in lines, it makes it awkward and it breaks up relationships. But that's not true, obviously, now. It's like, Ichikawa, connect the two threads, please. He's like, wait, why are you saying that? I didn't really catch it, though, because she mentioned something about the fact that her relationship with her mother. And he's like, I always thought that she was a really strict type because she did her hair. And she's like, no, she actually is really nice when we're alone. She even calls me Ana-chan. And he's like, oh, that's super cute. And I thought that he was saying that Ana-chan was cute. But then I realized that in the dialogue, it doesn't really necessarily line it up right with Ana-chan. And so he's literally just saying, no, her mom's cute, which obviously makes her jealous. We're I'm getting flashbacks of Uzaki-chan wants to hang out. Ichikawa's going after Yamada's mom. But no, I love this. I love the scene in the pancake shop. It's so good because it kind of has this whole moment where he's, man, everything's expensive. I'm just going to get coffee. And then it starts to talk about Ichikawa. And again, this is really Yamada trying to make some sort of connection with him. Let's talk about something. We can find something to talk about. And it's really into his taste. Which, yes, a character like Ichikawa is assumingly a goth, that everything has to be black. And so he's got black coffee, and all of his clothes are black. And she's like, well, no, I like that color too. I wear it, not right now, but I do wear it too. And he's like, well, it's different with you. And again, this is where he's, despite the fact that Yamada is constantly trying to connect with him, he keeps breaking it. No, it's different with me than is with you. When people like you wear that color, it's a fashion statement. Unlike when I wear it, it's me not wanting to wear any other color. So it's different with me than you. And it's such a frustrating thing because he's trying to break every connection she's making. But yeah, finally the food comes and she wants to take some pictures and he's assuming it's for other people. And so I think he did this before when she was taking some pictures. He was constantly in his mind thinking, other people are going to see that. Other people are going to see that. They're going to make assumptions based on this and this and this, which is, yes, technically something he would know sort of happens because people sort of make those assumptions and those inferences that are kind of wrong. But it wasn't for them. It was for him. Only him. And I like how he looks at it and he's liking the fact that he's got it. And she's like, but make sure to look at me too. I sent that to you for you, but look at me too. Like, I'm right here. Look at the real thing. And I was like, oh my gosh, boy, take a hint. The girl wants you so bad. But yes, the going to shop for clothes was cute as well. Just this kind of, again, trying to find something that's cute to him and him sort of inferring it, but then breaking it again. And then, yes, the sister coming by and he's got to hide. Well, I want to go meet your sister. Not yet. He says, not yet. And they kind of hit on it again at the end of the episode, this idea that he's technically insinuating that, yeah, I would like to show them eventually or introduce them eventually, but not yet. Like, he's not ready for it yet, but eventually he could be. And she catches it. I like that she caught it. Well, you said not yet. When? Well, just not right now. Later. And that's just enough for her. She's like, okay, at least he's okay with eventually I can meet them. Because again, they're in different positions in this race. She's already trying to get to the finish line, and he's still back here going, but we're different. But we're different. And she's up here going, but we can be the same. Just work with me here. But no, super cute. Walking together, holding hands with the bag, and eventually actually holding hands, which I thought was really cute. I love that moment that he realizes, oh wait, we're holding hands because they grabbed hands in the train. But at some point, he sort of lost his sense of when to not hold hands. Like, yeah, the assumption is, okay, we're holding hands right now. We're just doing this because of the situation. But then when we leave the train, the assumption is that once we get out of the train, then you would let go, right? But no, I kept holding on. And so we're like way past here. And so I can't now because then it's going to be awkward. It's like this, I got stuck in this thing and I forgot the moment that I would let go. It's so goofy, but yet it makes so much sense. But no, I skipped it, but I love the scene when they're walking down the street because you have this moment where he realizes, man, I'm not good enough. She's probably upset about this whole situation. Like, I'm making this a bad experience for her. And at some point he decides to speak up to make it almost sounded as if he's like, well, I'll give her something out of this. Like, I'll let her have something from this whole situation. So I'll tell her more about myself. And at the same time, assure her that I had a good experience. Like, maybe as long as she knows that I had fun, maybe it'll fix things. But it comes down to him really explaining how different he is with her versus everybody else. It's almost a slip up from him that's just naturally spoken. Well, with everybody else, just so you know, I'm not a social person. I'm not afraid of turning people down on a constant basis. Everybody asks me to do something, I go, no. And whenever something annoys me or I don't like something, I say it. Saying specifically, if I had a problem with this, I would have told you. But I didn't. I had fun. And it's so cute. She gets that, and at the same time acknowledges the idea that, oh yeah, that it makes sense because you don't normally talk about yourself. True. This is literally between him saying that he likes, the color black, not necessarily that he likes the color black, he just doesn't like other colors. And with this whole situation and explaining how he acts around other people, it's him opening up. He's never really talked about his own personal taste anywhere else, really. There's a couple times, but not really necessarily to this level. This personal with him. These are admittance from the heart. These are admittance of how he acts. And again, there's so much meaning in there. It's so good. But yeah, that all wraps up with the later scene with her parting ways and him almost saying Happy New Year's. She's like, no, we still have all these other days. Like, she's literally got it planned out already. You're going to be seeing her again. And then the Yamada Santa was super cute. Ho, 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 ho. It was so dorky. She's such a dork, and I love it. I love her dorky side. It so personalizes her. It gives her that goofiness. It's not that she's this perfectness that's always kind of keeping composed. She has a silly side to her, a very childish side to her. But yes, that all leads up to the big moment where, after the cast, by the way, so if you didn't get the scene, make sure to go back and watch it. The after cast scene where he's really conflicted in himself, and finally, sees the protagonist or the male lead of the manga sitting in his room. He's like, crap, now I'm getting a split personality. I'm delusional now. But no, this other self, the one that's within the manga, is literally telling him it's time you have that realization. Like, you obviously have feelings, and he's even struggling with it too, saying, well, all these feelings that I have for Yamada, I forget about them when I'm around her. Obviously indicating this idea that when he's away from her, he's like, crap, I should have done this, I should have done this, I should have done this. Does she like me? I like her. Will she find out that I like her? Is she going to realize that at some point? Is it going to bug her? And then realizing at some point, but then whenever he's around her, he's just with her. He's not thinking about all that stuff all the time. He's not thinking about, if she knows that he likes her or wondering if she likes him. It's all different. Like, it's put to the side because he's technically just enjoying himself, but at the same time also, technically conflicted with his own self. But I like it because he's realizing at this point, maybe, yes, I do. He's finally, it clicks in his head. Yes, I do have a chance with her. It makes perfect sense. So I'm so excited to see what's going to happen next episode. I'm so excited to see what's happening in the next episode. And then kind of wrapping it up with him lying there. The guy's laying next to him saying it's going to be okay. And he's just like, oh gosh, why is this dude laying next to me? It was dorky. But no, great episode. I skipped also the fact that when they're standing on the steps and he thinks that she's bothered by what he said, he thinks it's because she's in front of him, where normally what he read is he's supposed to be in front of the female. And he goes to do it, but she says no. And I almost wonder if it's that aspect that she likes the idea of him being taller than her. Like, allowing him for this brief moment to be looking down on her rather than her always looking down on him. It's like a certain comfort level that she sort of likes, even though she's wearing extremely high heels. I don't know why, but for some reason when he was explaining fashion versus what he wears, he said that he was mansplaining to Anna. I'm not sure why they translated that. I don't even think the term mansplaining even exists in Japan. He's literally just saying, yeah, I don't know why, but I'm explaining this stuff to a pro. That's not necessarily that. Big negative for High Dive, unless, again, I've missed that they've acquired the term or at least co-opted the term. There was even something else in that translation that kind of bugged me, but I don't remember what it was. But no, super cool episode. I love it. I cannot wait to see how this series is going to wrap up. I think it's supposed to be a 12 episode, so we only have like 2 more episodes. I hope it has a great wrap up. I'm assuming the wrap up might be New Year's, but we'll see. But that's my thoughts on episode 10 of The Dangers of My Heart. Hope you guys enjoyed this video as always. If you did, make sure to hit that like button down below, comment. Let me know what's thought of the episode. Additionally, if you're new to the channel, make sure that subscribe button so you got my content. I do news, reviews, first impressions, top list. If it's anime, it's pretty much here. Additionally, if you want to support the channel more, I have a Patreon link, tips link, super thanks, and membership button down below. I greatly appreciate what it does, and y'all take care.